Today, I'm going to share with you a secret, and I can guarantee you've never heard this before. I'm going to share with you the secret to generational wealth. And this is probably the most important video you'll ever hear this year. Okay. If your desire is to be a blessing to your family and really build a family dynasty, video is for you. Okay. I want you to imagine your family wealth as a skyscraper. Okay. Now, in this skyscraper, you have an imaginary floor, or you have a secret floor between the lobby and the penthouse that nobody knows about. Now, in this secret floor, this is where all the important decisions are made, okay? Where the access to resources are determined. This is where the future generations' lives are all mapped out. Now, you and I typically wouldn't know about this floor because typically this floor is reserved for families that have $250 million or more. But today, baby, I'm sounding the alarm. That secret floor is called a family office. And y'all, this family office is the key to generational wealth that we never knew we needed. Okay? We never knew we needed it until today. Now, you know, we as a people, we doing the best we can. We trying to stack accounts out here, trying to get to the money, get to the bag. But when it comes to generational wealth, there has to be a togetherness, right? Families without a family office, you're gonna have sooner or later you're gonna have some type of chaos, right? You have post-it notes everywhere, you have outdated wills, you have, divorces that split the family businesses, that split the wealth. You know what I'm saying? You have adult kids that are clueless when transfers happen, right? On the other side, you have a family office. On the other side, you have a family with a family office. And this is where, you have agendas on the screen. This is where everyone knows their roles and responsibilities. You have charts, you have clear lines of decisions. And y'all, this is the power of a family office. Okay. So I'm going to paint 3 scenes for you. So the first scene, imagine that you have the Rockefeller great-grandchildren, okay? They're meeting at a formal family assembly, okay? They don't all know each other, but what they do know, they know the mission. They know the mission for the family. They know the mission for the money, okay? Now, the decisions are made by policy, not personality. So, and this is the reason that their wealth has been intact for 100 years. And this is the reason why over 200 people are eating off the table that was built over 100 years ago, because the power of a family office, okay? The second scene, very familiar scene, you have a sports star that has garnered over $200 million over the past 10 years. Now, he don't have a family office, but he do have the money guy. He has a money guy in his family. And this money guy, he messed up and he made a deal that wiped out half of the money, okay? And unfortunately, the other half of the money was ate up in taxes, all right? And then within 5 years, the man that was 200 million, the 200 millionaire, right? $200 millionaire, that money was gone within 5 years, and the lights had to be turned off in the big house, okay? Now, scene 3, a very familiar story as well. You have an immigrant family. Now, this immigrant family, owns the corner store in the neighborhood. Now, this immigrant family, they started a kitchen table family office. And in the family office, they met every month, every month. Um, they had a clear money policy, how the money was going to be ran, how it was going to be distributed, all of that. They had documents all in one vault. Their heirs, their kids was learning the business. In fact, at age 15, the kids started volunteering in the corner store. And by age 20, every child had their own corner store. To in 5-10 years, all the corner stores in the neighborhood was owned by one family. And this is the power of a family office, pulling your resources together to create a family dynasty, right? And this is the type of information that we were never privy to, that we didn't even know existed until now, okay? So a family office, it's like a control tower, right, at the airport. So you can have the fastest jet, you can have the best pilots, right? But if you don't have someone looking at the whole picture and giving you the play by play with roles and expectations, baby, sooner or later it's going to be some accidents, right? And that is what a family office does. And the wealthy don't leave this to chance, they prepare for it, right? So, at its core, a family office does three things, okay? Number one, it's going to protect what you've built, okay? It's going to, and it protects what you built by governance, okay? What are the set rules that we have as this family? What is the mission? What do we stand for as a family? What do we stand against, right? What are our mission statements, right? What drives us to make decisions? How will we make decisions as a family, right? This is what protects what you've built, right? A family constitution, right? And then you grow it intentionally. What are our family rules around our money? How will we grow it together as a family? Everybody working on stuff individually, but as a family, how will we create a family dynasty, right? And this is the type of thinking that if you want generational wealth, this is the type of thinking that you have to have, right? And then number three, how do we transfer it with wisdom, right? Not just paperwork again. And again, you can start this right at the kitchen table. You don't have to be a millionaire to do this. You just start with what you have. That's at the high level, okay? So, just to go into a little bit more detail, a family office does some pretty cool things. Number one, it provides strategy and governance. Okay. You are coming up as a family with a vision for your family. What are our decision rights? How do we come to a decision as as a family, right? What is in our family constitution? What do we stand for as a family? What do we stand against, right? What are our family values? Those things are our strategy and our governance. That's how our family is run, right? Every decision is run through those filters, right? So imagine it's like, so those things are like the GPS and the rules on the road. Okay. And then you want to have rules around your money. Now, of course, family offices, like I told you, it's typically for people that have $250 million or more. But now with us, they start with money with us. No, with them, they start with money. With us, we're starting with vision, right? So with vision, we have to have rules around our money. Like for instance, before we before we spend, we invest. or we want to make sure that we keep at least 30% liquid. We have to have rules around our money that we pull together. Okay. Another piece of the family office is risks and insurance, right? You want to make sure there are liability shields, right? You want to make sure there's different policies to protect you, right? And one thing I like about the family office is they have they have wealth guards, okay? And these wealth guards literally protect them against things like divorces that split the family money, against unprepared, untrained heirs that could run through the money in a couple years, right? Because what I like about it is just because you are family does not mean that you can be privy to everything I've built for the past 50 years, huh? You have to pay to play. Okay. What I like about it is they say if you don't comply, you gets no pie, right? So they have these policies and procedures, and if you don't want to play by the rules, baby, you don't stay. Your blood, we love you, we need you, but baby, if you don't comply, you gets no pie, huh? I love it. I love it, right? Another one is tax strategy. Okay, you hear tons of stories how Bezos did, how he didn't pay taxes. Right? There's all type of um, tax shelters that the rich are privy to that we are not. Right? Um, Foundations, DAFs, and we'll get into all that later. But baby, I got the play by play. Okay, and I'll be sharing it with you. And then a big, big, big thing that I like about what they do, they are really big on air development. Let me tell you, a lot of people think the biggest asset, or a lot of people think that wealth a lot of people think that wealth is your greatest asset to generational wealth. But baby, the wealthy know that's a lie. The greatest asset to your generational wealth is going to be your people. Because baby, you could have a 250 million. Tell you about the Gucci's, the Gucci family. They were $1 billion empire. But guess what? They're still $1 billion empire, but not one Gucci family member owns it. You know why? Because they didn't have the governance. They didn't have air development. They didn't have a family office. And with the family office, as part of the air development, they have rules and expectations for their children. And I love this because with us, a lot of the times we hope, we hope and pray that our kids is going to act right and they're going to have money, for when we pass down our money, we hope they're good stewards. Most of the time they're not, because 70% of wealth is gone by the second generation, and 90% is gone by the third. So you have to prepare for this. And with the wealth, with the air development, they know these statistics. They've studied it well, which is why they require their children to know different financial leadership principles, to know financial literacy principles. Okay. They're going to know about dollar cost averaging. They're going to know about compound interest. They're going to know how to run a stock portfolio. They're going to know how to pitch business. Okay. Every one of them knows that. And they actually track it. Okay. So that is what I love about the air development of the rich, of the ultra wealthy. Okay. And those are some tactics that we can bring into our families. Okay. So y'all, these are the high level core principles of a family office. Okay. So next I want to talk to you about things that you can do right now to start your own family office. Okay. Number one, you could come up with a shared vision for your family. Okay. You can come up with a shared vision because, like I said, everyone is, working individually. But if you want real generational wealth, you have to sit down as a family and come up with a shared vision. You want to talk about your values as a family. What is our mission statement? What is our family covenant? What are we promising to each other? How we're going to treat each other, right? What we stand for as a family, what we stand against, right? What is our values? Just one page, right? So after you do that, you the next thing you could do is come up with a rhythm of when you're going to meet. Okay. You want to meet monthly, you want to meet yearly, however you want to meet as a family. And this is where you discuss the happenings of the family. If my grandmother is 93 years old, a precious woman, 93 years old, her and her brothers and sisters, she's the oldest of our entire family. We just came back from a family reunion, y'all. But since COVID, all her brothers and sisters, it was 12 of them. I think now she's the oldest of 9 that are living. Don't quote me, but I think she's the oldest of 9. But anyway, they meet every single Thursday. All of the brothers and sisters, they meet over Google Meets, and they have monthly dues. They pool their money together, and they do this, and I love this because in their own way they've created a family office, right? They may not have the Rockefeller money, but they have the Rockefeller method. And I love it, and I'm just so blessed, and I just wanted to share this with you all. My goal is for every family to have a family office. We may not have, you know, $50,000 million in the bank, but baby, what we do have is a promise from God. And what we do have, if you think about it in the Bible, God always blessed the generations. He's the God of Adam, Isaac, and Jacob, right? He blessed generations. So if we want for our generations to be blessed, especially from our tree and our branches and our families, then we need to start thinking like the ultra wealthy. So again, if you desire to create your own family office, I want you to just put in the comments. Now, I know this teaching ain't for everybody. Some people are just content, just me, myself, and I. But if your goal is to really create a dynasty, a legacy that lasts for 100 years or more, then I want you to put in the chat, I am a family office founder. I am a family office founder. After you do that, I want you to go to Facebook groups and put in family office founders. Okay. I have started that group, family office founders, because in that group, I will be doing exclusive teaching on family offices, how to run one. I will be giving out resources. I will be doing exclusive teachings in that group, right? So if you desire to be a family office founder, definitely link up with me and let me know. Again, put it in the chat and then go to Facebook and put in Family Office Founders Group and join it. Okay. So thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video.